You know how the world used to measure air dominance? Speed, stealth, firepower, a few cool maneuvers at an air show, a stealth flyby, and a dramatic reveal of some missile with a fancy acronym. Headlines screamed about hypersonics and dogfighting capabilities, and analysts argued about radar cross-sections on Twitter. But all of that, the whole framework of modern air power, just got flipped on its head. And it wasn't by a classified leak or a surprise war game. It was by a graphic. Yes, a graphic. In May 2025, something strange happened. U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin shared a seemingly harmless infographic, a colorful chart tucked into a public briefing. No fanfare, no alarms, just a simple diagram showing the future vision of U.S. air power. But within that chart was a name, F-47, and next to it, stats that looked unbelievable. A combat radius that stretched across oceans. A command system that wasn't just about flying a jet, but leading a digital squadron of AI-driven drones. The defense world went into instant overdrive. In a matter of hours, analysts were decoding every pixel. Aviation blogs exploded. Former Pentagon insiders confirmed what many suspected. The F-47 wasn't a prototype. It was real. And it was already flying. This wasn't just the reveal of a jet. It was the quiet announcement of a revolution. A glimpse into warfare 10 years ahead of its time. The future didn't knock. It posted. Let's break it down. The F-47 isn't just the newest American fighter. It's the most powerful aircraft ever revealed to the public. Period. With a combat radius so large it nearly doubles the reach of any current US jet, it redefines what it means to project power. We're talking about flying from Guam and reaching deep into Chinese territory, and still having enough fuel to return and refuel midair. That's not just range. That's strategic shock and awe, and that alone would be impressive. But the F-47 doesn't show up to a fight alone. Here's where things get wild. The F-47 is a command jet, meaning it doesn't just fly, it leads. Accompanying each F-47 into battle is a team of AI-powered drone wingmen, fully autonomous, highly lethal. Think of them like robotic guard dogs with missiles and machine guns, each capable of making split-second decisions on their own. A single pilot in an F-47 can coordinate up to 6 of these combat drones at once, making that pilot not just a flyer, but a battlefield commander in the sky. This swarm strategy instantly multiplies America's air superiority. 6 autonomous fighters can flank, decoy, suppress enemy radars, jam signals, or just straight up fire missiles, all while the F-47 remains cloaked or evades detection. And because the drones are cheaper and unmanned, they can take greater risks, flying into high threat zones or luring enemy air defenses into the open. So what happens when you combine insane range, unmatched stealth, and an army of thinking, flying robots? You destroy the very foundation of China's and Russia's defense planning. China has spent years building up what's called an anti-access area denial, a 2/AD strategy. Basically a giant wall of missiles, radar domes, and air defenses designed to keep US aircraft far away from the South China Sea. Russia's got a similar setup in Kaliningrad and the Arctic. These zones are deadly for any traditional fighter, but the F-47 doesn't play by old rules. It can enter those zones, survive, and strike. Its drones can confuse and overwhelm defenses. And by the time anyone realizes what's happening, it's too late. This kind of capability forces a total rethink of global strategy. It's like someone just invented the queen in a game of chess where everyone else was still using pawns and rooks. The board tilted. And here's another twist. The F-47 wasn't meant to be fully unveiled yet. That May 2025 graphic, it wasn't some orchestrated PR campaign. It was a quiet admission, almost accidental, that the US was already years ahead in 6th-generation air combat, while other nations were still struggling to build 5th-gen jets that match the F-22 or F-35. The Pentagon didn't deny the image. In fact, the silence said more than a press release ever could. So what are the specs we do know? Combat radius, estimated at 1,600 to 2,000 miles without refueling. Stealth, next-gen adaptive coding with AI-optimized flight paths to reduce detection. Command capacity, up to 6 collaborative combat aircraft drones per mission. Communication, quantum secure, AI-encrypted data links. Weapons, mix of kinetic and electronic warfare systems, some classified. And that's just what's been publicly confirmed or leaked. We can only imagine what's classified. Now let's talk about the psychological effect. If you're a pilot in another air force, say China's PLAF, and you know there's a machine out there that flies twice as far, can see you before you even blink, and isn't flying alone, how confident are you now? How does that change your mission planning or your willingness to engage in a potential air war? This is what the F-47 is really doing. Not just flying, it's rewriting deterrence. There's a reason the US hasn't built thousands of tanks like it used to in the Cold War. It's investing in strategic air power, aircraft that can control an entire theater of war from the sky. If the F-22 was dominance and the F-35 was versatility, then the F-47 is omnipresence. And the global impact? Massive. NATO allies are already in talks to adopt F-47 style tactics, building their own autonomous drones to interface with future US aircraft. Meanwhile, China is rushing development of its own 6th-gen program, reportedly codenamed JXX, though insiders believe it's at least 5 to 8 years behind. Russia. Their Su-57 hasn't even reached full production, and their drone programs are scattered and underfunded. So what we're looking at isn't just a new jet. It's a time jump, a generational leap that has left everyone else catching their breath. And just like the iPhone changed phones forever, the F-47 may be the moment where air combat, as we knew it, becomes obsolete. The future isn't coming. It's already airborne. So what do you call a jet that's faster than news, stealthier than a rumor, and smarter than most pilots in the sky? You call it the F-47, but that name might not even do it justice. Because this isn't just a fighter jet, it's a flying war algorithm. A command center with wings, a digital brain that doesn't just respond to threats, it predicts them. It doesn't just fight, it outthinks, outmaneuvers, and outclasses anything that dares to challenge it. With one pilot controlling a swarm of AI wingmen, with a combat radius that breaks every traditional boundary, and with technology that still hasn't been fully revealed to the public. The F-47 is more than a weapon, it's a warning. To every potential adversary, every missile battery, every so-called denied airspace in the world, your days of invulnerability are over. And if these early leaks are anything to go by, we're still only seeing the tip of the spear. The real capabilities, the black budget tech, the classified loadouts, the adaptive AI systems, are probably so far ahead, they'd make today's 5th-gen fighters look like museum pieces. In a world where global dominance won't be measured by troop numbers or tank columns, but by who controls the skies with intelligence, autonomy, and precision, the F-47 may very well be the defining symbol of 21st century warfare. So the next time you glance at the sky and see nothing, don't be too sure. The future of air power is silent, invisible, calculating, and it may already be watching.